It's Wednesday. You know what that means. AEW Dynamite New Year's Smash live watch along reactions. Thank you for tuning in and listening for the final Dynamite of 2021 and on TNT, as next week they'll switch over to TBS. However, Rampage will in fact stay on TNT Friday nights at 10 o'clock. As they come off of All Out Grand Slam, the 2-year anniversary show, Full Gear, Winter is Coming, and the Holiday Bash from last week, as well over the past few months. But also, be sure to check out AEW videos from events I've had the honor of attending live in person in the concert/event playlist right here on the YouTube channel. And keep an eye on some new videos to be published in the new year from attending more events. But as of late, hence, of course, I haven't streamed as much wrestling as I normally do, but it's also been football season. But as we wind down into the new year, once again, thank you for tuning in and listening. So in the meantime, here tonight, once again, thank you for tuning in and listening. As always, I'm your host, Encyclopedia Sports, Cool and Luke 96. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. Smash that thumbs up button for AEW Dynamite New Year's Smash. Share hashtag AEW, hashtag AEW Dynamite. Chat questions and comments, super chats, super stickers, always greatly appreciated as well. Tonight we will see the return of good old JR Jim Ross after he has now successfully defeated cancer. His Oklahoma Sooners also on tonight in the Alamo Bowl, taking on the Oregon Ducks as college football bowl season rolls on. And be sure to also go check out my college football bowl game bowl season preview as well. Also tonight we'll have a CM Punk appearance that'll probably be interrupted by Maxwell Jacob Friedman, MJF, one way or another. Only time will in fact tell. The AEW TBS Women's Championship Tournament semifinals will also continue with Thunder Rosa and Jade Cargill. The winner will face off versus the winner of the other semi next week in the championship to determine the first ever and new AEW TBS Women's Champion. A 10-man tag team match as well with the Lucha Brothers, Jurassic Express, and Christian Cage taking on FTR, Private Party, and Matt Hardy. 2 separate trios matches, which we'll get to here in a second. Now, in the meantime, the opening video package for Dynamite, as it's all about the boom. It's Wednesday night. JR's back, and they're in Jacksonville at Daly's Place. AEW smashing in 2022 with the boom. And JR is going to kick off the show back after taking about a month or so off with chemo treatments. Last and final one of those was today. And the Hall of Fame voice of wrestling, good old JR, Jim Ross, is in fact back. Boomer Sooner. He's wearing his red shirt as well. They have their largest ever attended Jacksonville crowd in attendance tonight, so they say at least. But they have the setup that they had towards late spring, early summer this past year, before, of course, they hit the road live touring again. But JR's back. Rather than Excalibur, Tony Schiavone, and whoever would be filling in, it's Wednesday night. You know what that means. It's AEW Dynamite, and the 10-man tag will kick off the night. Here comes, Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, Jurassic Express. They'll team with Ray and Penta, the Lucha Brothers, who are your AEW World Tag Team Champions, along with Christian Cage, taking on FTR, Dax and Cash, Private Party, and Matt Hardy. But yeah, JR's back to Jim Ross, Excalibur, and Tony Schiavone on the call. And this is the final Dynamite on TNT. A little over 2 years ago, of course. They make it almost 3 on New Year's Eve, but since they, of course, debuted on TNT, have become arguably one of the, if not the, hottest wrestling promotion in the world right now. So, Christian Cage, who this time a year ago was still in the WWE, almost won the Royal Rumble into the Thunderdome, and then on top of that, Cero Miedo ended up debuting for AEW Backlash March at Revolution. And just, of course, he's battled a few injuries. Av has the Lucha Brothers and, a few other talent. But as Lucha Brothers are your AEW World Tag Team Champions, interesting, they're teaming up with Jurassic Express in this 10-man tag, sort of coming up. I wouldn't be shocked if they're going to be feuding for the titles at some point down the line, but of course only time will tell. Here comes FTR with Tully Blanchard, and they're all actually going to come out at once with the Hardy family office as well. Matt Hardy, the truth is the truth, and then Private Party as well. But interesting start to the night, 10-man tag. I figured it would have been one of those trios matches. The other's going to be the main event, which we'll get to here in a second. But the two separate trios matches are going to be Eddie Kingston and LAX, Mad King with Santana and Ortiz taking on Daniel Garcia, and formerly known as Everrise, now the true and only 2.0 worth mentioning in pro wrestling today. And then, of course, will be time for the main event, as Mark Henry would say. Shocking the system to close out the new year. It'll be Best Friends, Orange Cassidy, Chuck Taylor, and Trent Beretta versus Adam Cole, Bebe, who debuted it All Out. Bobby Fish was released from WWE a short time later. He has since signed as well. That was late September, early October. And then just last week, Kyle O'Reilly, Red Dragon back together. Kyle O'Reilly now all in with All Elite Wrestling as well, debuting about 20 minutes or so into the show last week during Holiday Bash. But here in the meantime tonight, we're underway. Bell rings, this 10-man tag underway once again with the Lucha Brothers, Jurassic Express, and Christian Cage taking on FTR, Private Party, and Matt Hardy. So once again, thank you as always for tuning in and listening. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. I'm sure tonight as well we'll have some filler segments as always with video packages, interviews, and such. But Tony Khan has guaranteed us a bittersweet surprise as well. So we'll have to see what that entails here tonight. As we could and hopefully wish for the return of the Exalted One himself, Mr. Brody Lee, 1 year after his passing. But from Daly's Place in Jacksonville, Florida here tonight, AEW Dynamite New Year's Smash. We'll smash away 2021 to get to 2022. So we'll see how the night goes, and then they'll have Dynamite officially on TBS starting next Wednesday, a week from Saturday. They're going to be back on TNT for right now one night only. It'll be a TV special for Battle of the Belts, in whichever championship's going to be defended. So talk about the World Tag Team titles there with the Lucha Brothers and potentially, Jurassic Express. If something goes wrong here tonight, we could see a turn of some sorts. I would think they'd want to, end the year with a bang, a smash, so to speak. But we'll see how it goes, and we'll see what the future holds for the company. But in the end, as it's Jungle Boy and half of FTR, tag going to be made, it looks like. It'll be Dax now rather than Cash taking on Jungle Boy. They lock up in the middle of the ring. Still to come, they advertise down in the bottom left-hand corner. CM Punk appears in Daly's place for the first time ever, of course, because he debuted after they returned to the road. Second ever Rampage, week after I saw the first ever Rampage from the Steel City mid-August. You know, they haven't been back in Jacksonville since about a week or so before then. So, yeah, Punk going to be, well, here's an add-in filler. Wardlow's going to be in action. They're teasing, of course, him and MJF once again breaking up at some point in time down the line. Just don't know when. Okay, the Kingston, Santana and Ortiz Trios 6-man tag with Garcia and 2.0. That's going to be coming up next after this 10-man tag. The other trios, seems to me, looks like it'll be the main event, as mentioned. But so they added, okay, we'll add in Wardlow. Wardlow's going to be in action, probably against some jobber. It'll be a squash match. But yeah, surprisingly, as much as AEW's been in Jacksonville, you know, because CM Punk's really only been with the company now, what, 4 or 5 months? It is, but it isn't. But he hasn't ever appeared. I'm sure the crowd's going to go nuts for him. And if you've never been to an AEW show, let alone a pro wrestling show, be sure to go check out the videos. But I highly ensure you get to attend one at some point in time in your life. But, Christian now going to tag in Jungle Boy, as it only took about 10 minutes for a John Madden reference, rest in peace, to the late great coach, broadcaster, and video game icon. A legend lost yesterday at 85. John Madden passes away, rest in peace. It's 2 straight years in between Christmas and New Year's that, and I wouldn't want to be the third. You don't want to see anybody die by any means. And thank God JR is back after battling cancer. But that's 2 straight years in the sports world, at least, that, of course, you got Brody Lee last year, now John Madden tonight, but Brody Lee's real name, John Huber. 2 straight years, somebody with the first name John has passed away in between that time. And with that bittersweet surprise, as it said in Tony Khan's tweet, who the hell knows what that's going to entail? You know, it might be an announcement for, you know, a future event. Might be something just for the crowd in attendance, for all we know. It might be a surprise. It might be a debut of somebody. It'll be interesting because, I mean, they have this. They'll have the trios, one of the 2 trios coming up next. The 9 o'clock hour, or excuse me, the co-main event after the 9 o'clock hour is probably going to be that TBS Women's Championship Tournament semifinal with Thunder Rosa and Jade Cargill. Wardlow is going to be in between all that as well. And then, you know, you have your other fillers, you have your backstage stuff. Punk's probably going to be the 9 o'clock hour. And like I said, MJF's going to, I would think, come out and interrupt. And they'll get into a back and forth talking affair here tonight. Might see Dan Lambert again. You know, Cody Rhodes just won the TNT title again this past Saturday on Rampage. So he's the new TNT champion. As Guevara held it for about 3 months or so. But we'll see what else they do. I mean, it's on card, on paper, for the card. a pretty decent show. I mean, they're, gonna, because last year New Year's Smash was supposed to be this very night, but they pushed it back, well, into a 2 week thing then at that point, night 1 and night 2, to early and mid January, because this Wednesday was the memorial show for Brody Lee. And of course, he passed away the day after Christmas, and then it'd be a year to go tomorrow night if they would have had that. But with the move to TBS, of course, now next week, they're going to, I would think, as they already have announced one match for that, and it's going to be a rematch for the World Heavyweight Championship with Hangman Adam Page and Bryan Danielson. Could see something, with them, whether that's a backstage segment or a video package of some sorts here tonight as well. Miro, maybe, the Redeemer himself, after coming in as the best man. He's been hanging out in the White Room as of late, so Luchasaurus chants from the crowd. This 10-man tag and roll on. He has yet to tag in. So, hot tag coming. The faces are going to win this with the Lucha Brothers, Jurassic Express, and Christian Cage. But, especially with the move to TBS next week, they're going to try to hype that up a lot, and I would hope to have a better card on that show than here tonight. But you just never. I mean, a damn good main event with what you got now with Cole, Fish, and O'Reilly. But once again, with AEW, it is turning into a lot of, former, whether it be for the most part as it is WWE guys or from other companies. If it makes sense, okay, but they still, as I said, I think a lot of people agree with me, and I know a lot of people said as well, wherever they're located at, that they still need to watch who the hell they're signing, because everybody's just going to get lost in the shuffle. So, we'll see once again. Only time's going to tell. Nice maneuver off the top rope there by the Lucha Brothers. And there's the hot tag to Luchasaurus. Double shoulder takedown, a big boot to Matt Hardy, then off the ring apron as well. Clothesline. And boom, throwing down. Private Party. Into the corner goes FTR. And some rights and lefts. Luchasaurus. In full control, taking everybody out. Nice big clothesline there ringside. Another one. Now he's going to go for a double choke slam on FTR, but they're going to reverse. They do reverse, but then he, hits with a clothesline and then a kick anyway, so it doesn't matter. Now he's going to go for another choke slam. Tag made. Here comes the Lucha Brothers. Sado Miedo. Nice backbreaker there. Cover. 1, 2, and a kick out. If you can't tell by my voice, a few sniffles. No, I do not have COVID, but a little bit of a head cold since late last night, early this morning. But I feel fine. I'm all right. Nice big headbutt to Butcher and Blade ringside. Actually, somebody's filling in for the Butcher as he's injured, but Blade just got taken out. I don't know who that is filling in, but then a few suicide dives ringside. And Christian's going to get the pin. Miedo. Christian tags in. He can still do the move. Actually, they're pushing and shoving back and forth now. And then it's going to cost him FTR from behind. And then the big rig. Cover 1, 2, 3. Bell rings and the heels win it, surprisingly. All right. Not a bad idea. There's somebody out there with a Housen sign of MJF and Wardlow as Danhausen, which is pretty funny. So FTR, Private Party, Matt Hardy, and company, they pick up the win here to kick off AEW Dynamite New Year's Smash here tonight. So there's going to be a little controversy, a little tension now with the Lucha Brothers and Jurassic Express, and Christian's going to be in the middle. And this, in the end, will set up what I think as a World Tag Team Championship match at some point in time. Up next, though, the Trios match with Kingston and Santana and Ortiz taking on Daniel Garcia and 2.0. CM Punk still to come as well. In the meantime, they'll take a commercial, and then coming to TBS now, hard to believe, next Wednesday. Real Professional Wrestling. Thank you. AEW Dynamite. In the new year, going to a new network. Rampage still going to be on TNT. But AEW Dynamite on TBS starting next Wednesday. So, back to the action here momentarily. They say still to come with coming up next, the Trios. I'm sure we'll come back to something backstage, though. Maybe Britt Baker. She's going to defend her title at Battle of the Belts. Maybe a video package of some sorts. Just going to depend on, who they have on the show versus who they don't, and who, what they're trying to build towards the future. And, it's still building blocks. They've only been in existence for a few years, but even with COVID the past year and a half, they have started to hit their stride. And they're going to roll on, whether people like it or not. And, I mean, everybody has their own opinion, but there's just, I don't get how you can like something that's just so bad anymore versus you like something that's good. Why don't you watch this then, especially with as many, because I know you liked them then, but now you don't like them now, because they left. What if you were in their shoes? What would you do? Just blows my mind with how some people react to shit. But I'll digress. AEW last week, they broke 1 million in the ratings. That's all anybody ever cares about anymore anyway. But still, the past month, talk about that a second. I normally don't. They have moved up in that category week in and week out. So it should be an interesting, alright show, to say the least, tonight. I mean, not that good of a match to kick off the night, but arguably, even though I have not watched NXT in a few months now, that match was probably better than the past few months that it's been. The bittersweet surprise, maybe try to catch a off guard in some sort, I don't know. During commercial break, Garcia and 2.0 get the jobber entrance, and now here comes Eddie Kingston with Santana and Ortiz. He's always at the head of a different three-man group. Because there's always Death Triangle with Pac and the Lucha Brothers. And then, of course, when Pac wasn't there and he is back to not being there again. He took over, and then he comes back, and then, he's sort of put as an outcast, but then they have him team in the meantime with Moxley, and now, he's been out because he entered rehab, and hopefully he's doing well. And now he's in a 6-man tag with Santana and Ortiz. It's like at least they have kept him in the loop, and, he's being asked what he's, told to do. Like Eddie Kingston's that one. Talk about a right-hand man. You need something done for you, he'll do it. He'll brawl for you. He'll kick your ass, and he'll tell you how it is. So yeah, the refs now getting in the middle of this as they're fighting ringside. Garcia, as they signed him late summer, it was really nobody, and he's really, along with 2.0, they've put them over a lot as of late. And, they're a good heel trio. They are. In my opinion, they are. They got the jobber entrance, and then Kingston and Santana Ortiz with the face paint. Of course, for the time being, no more Inner Circle, because Jericho's been on hiatus, being on tour with Fozzy overseas. And, Sammy Guevara was the TNT champion, but he just dropped that. Jake Hager, since he debuted on the opening Dynamite, he's just been there. Hasn't really done a whole lot. Same with Wardlow. The Pinnacle's still somewhat together. They're keeping it as if they are together, but they're branching out and doing their own thing, and then they come back, okay, then they're there. And then there's Santana Ortiz, LAX. And, they're a good, reliable tag team. They could be in line for a tag team title shot at some point in time. Once again, but here tonight, next right now, on Dynamite New Year's Smash, first of the two trios matches here. It is Daniel Garcia and 2.0. Of course, formerly known as Everrise in the WWE, who NXT dropped the ball with. They really didn't know what the hell to do with them, along with, a lot of other people, including up on the main roster, as they are taking on Eddie Kingston. And Santana Ortiz right now got a hook sign out in the crowd. Send Hook. He's wrestled twice the past, couple of weeks. Not that bad. It seems to me at some point in time down the line, they're going to try to push him to the moon, so to speak. Send him there, whether that's by himself or in a rocket ship, or, Taz is going with him. Taz no longer on commentary. And with, that FTW title that they still haven't done jack shit with. And Brian Cage hasn't been seen in how long. They've dropped the ball with all that. Ricky Starks. Hook's going to be other than Hobbs, who still has a lot of potential, Hook's in the end going to probably be the best out of the bunch, because they just talk about booking. It starts there. In some regard, they're not necessarily hurting themselves, but and doesn't get talked about a lot. But at the same time, it's like, come on now, like if Rampage was, I think, before SmackDown on Fridays at 7 rather than 10, that show might do a little bit better. Or if he was on another night and they had it as 2 hours maybe, but still, of course, Dark and Dark Elevation. They do shit there, but does really anybody ever watch that? Yes, but no, not really. Not as much as this, including myself. So, here, once again in AEW, the future's still bright. They got tons of time to do whatever the hell they want. And that's what they're doing. They don't care. But they're going to give us actually what we want to see rather than, somebody else. Talk about giving us, what we want. And with CM Punk and MJF, as they show the still to come for that later on tonight. Still, we'll hit a split screen commercial. We're not going to miss a single second. So says Excalibur, which 9 times out of 10 for the most part we don't. Towards the tail end, some of them they do cut to full screen and then they come back to it. But hashtag AEW Dynamite when you share on social media. And once again, thanks for tuning in and listening. The Punk MJF stuff right now. I know a few people were saying right when it first started, because MJF's compared to The Miz a lot, that, with what they've done with Punk to that point, even now, still really hasn't been a lot. You got to give it time. Like, that's what I said, people overreact and, they want this now rather than later. It's like, you got to let it breathe a little bit. It's arguably, with Punk and MJF, along with Hangman Bryan Danielson, Bryan, who also debuted at All Out. I feel Punk and MJF's right now one of the, if not the, top feud in the company. I don't know how much that's saying by any means, but they can, once again, do what they want because they have the leeway to do it. With all the talent they have now, with everybody they've signed and everybody that's homegrown, so to speak, back to Hook, and now they're bringing up, of course, drawing a blank. Hangman Adam Page is, champion. Omega and the Bucks. Darby Allin's probably one. Maybe we'll see him and Sting tonight. We'll see, though. Of course, last week they had that main event match. It was Punk, Sting, and Darby all in face paint, taking on MJF and FTR. Like, they have a good couple handfuls of homegrown talent now at this point. Half hour in the show tonight. For New Year's Smash. Once again, thanks for tuning in and listening. They have had, of course, with COVID, everybody's going through that. Circumstances on, why this hasn't happened, or this hasn't happened, so to speak, whether it's now or, whenever, but still at the same time, with as much backing as they have, at least they have a good connection and good camaraderie. Urban Meyer's not coaching. It's Tony Khan at the top, and that's where it all starts. And, everybody has freedom. Back to it after the split screen. Eddie Kingston in full control of Garcia and 2.0. I don't even know how many chops that is. He's probably counting to 20 at this rate. Chop after chop after chop, just real quick, real fast. And with Rick Knox as our zebra, tag made, kick into the corner, and this match will continue. They're live on TNT for the final time. AEW Dynamite New Year's Smash. TBS starting next week. And a quick roll up. 1, 2, and 3. Wow. Yeah, I don't know if that was supposed to end like that or not. And then, of course, Garcia beating him down after the match. A simple moonsault off the back and then a quick roll up. Something's going to happen at post-match here. Somebody's coming out. Maybe that was supposed to happen. It didn't look like, that was supposed to be the ending by any means, but somebody's coming out. Who's it going to be? Bell continues to ring, and it's actually Garcia ringing the bell himself that, hey, this match is over, we won, but we're still going to kick his ass post-match here. We're beating him down. Maybe Moxley. Maybe John Moxley, Eddie Kingston back into the ring. I mean, Moxley is really the only one that comes to mind. And it was, prior to Full Gear, he entered rehab and they had to change up the tournament there for the championship. And Daniel Bryan became the number one contender and then, challenged Hangman. We got some pyro. Oh, it's Jericho. Jericho's back. Chris Jericho on AEW. Baseball bat, Floyd and all, hitting home runs. Chris Jericho's back. All right. Makes sense for Santana and Ortiz. And we'll get to sing along to Judas one final time here in 2021. Actually, they'll have Rampage on Friday night, New Year's Eve. But they're going to be up against some stiff competition with College Football Playoff. SmackDown actually just going to be a recap show. They're not even going to do anything because they have day one on Saturday night. And I'll have live watch-along reactions live here on YouTube of that as well. Along with, of course, next Monday with Monday Night Football, Monday Night Raw, and then AEW Dynamite, first ever TBS edition, and a week from Saturday for Battle of the Belts, too, with the NFL doubleheader into Week 18 before the playoffs begin. So just be sure to subscribe. Chris Jericho's back, smashing his baseball bat and all on this New Year's Smash. AEW Dynamite saving the day as everyone sings along to Judas, his own song, his entrance song. But Fozzy, they're on tour. A few shows, of course, had been postponed, canceled because he was hospitalized. He's better. He's all right. He's back. They cut the music. Judas in my mind. Crowd still sings along, though. Eddie Kingston and him staring each other down. It's like, what the hell? Like, you didn't need to save us. We had it under control. So, are they going to start a feud with those two? Yeah, Kingston saying, I don't need you. Get the hell out. And then Santana Ortiz trying to break it up. Jericho throws his bat down, gloves off. So they're planting seeds potentially for something with these two at some point in time. But Chris Jericho is back. So maybe that's the bittersweet surprise that Tony Khan was talking about. I don't know. Okay, we got the latest from MJF.
Hey, it's me. One of the biggest ratings draws in all professional wrestling.
One of the biggest ratings draws in all pro wrestling. He's got the chairman, the Perfect 10, Sean Spears by his side, along with Wardlow. Still going to be in action coming up later. Untrained Outlaw Hack and Sting. MJF's one of the best heels right now in all wrestling, including Dan Lambert. But MJF, he says what the hell he wants.
I suppose that's a conversation that needs to be had as we get closer to the bidding war of 2024.
The bidding war of 2024. Still a few years away. But of course, he's teasing leaving when we all know he won't because WWE would screw him over. He'd be stupid to leave. He's going to be, as I said, Hangman, and it took a little while, longer than expected, of course, for him to be a future AEW World Heavyweight Champion. That's going to be MJF at some point in time down the line.
I'm going to need you to stop chasing the bug of that cute little powerbomb symphony you're doing and just start chasing some dubs you can qualify for the Face of the Revolution ladder match where the winner gets a shot at the TNT title.
Face of the Revolution ladder match already being announced. Jesus Christ, Revolution's not until fucking March. It's late December, early January. And you got a lot of TV specials in between. It's in the contract that you signed. And they bring in Jade Cargill as attorney. Marky Mark.
Legally and forever in perpetuity, the property of Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Always have a plan, right, Max? Just like I have a plan for Jade to win the TBS championship.
Yep.
Cool. Spears disappeared. No problem.
Disappeared.
Anytime starting next week, I myself can start
Get lost.
and getting some W's so I can become not just the TNT champion.
Make yourself scarce.
Why? Because my name is Maxwell Jacob Friedman.
And I'm better than you, and you know it. As he kisses his Dynamite diamond, it looks like MJF's going to go after the TNT title and Cody Rhodes. All right. He's going to deserve that. That'll have Cody put over MJF even more. And hell, he's already done it before, so why not again? Go back to your roots and go back to the basics. CM Punk appears in Daily's Place for the first time ever tonight. That is still to come. What's coming up next? We're 2 matches in, 45 minutes or so now. Also, the main event trios, which will feature Best Friends and the former Undisputed Era with Cole Fish and O'Reilly. Shocking the system on AEW. Okay, so they just say tonight for both. Take commercial break and we'll get back to it coming up shortly. So, could be anything, to be honest with you. Probably at this right now, probably something backstage, because they just had something backstage. And they sort of, as WWE does on SmackDown, even on Raw sometimes, back to back with the women's matches. AEW likes going back to back with backstage shit. I don't know why. Obviously, it fills time, but once again, I mean, this show tonight, in the end, unless something big happens, I mean, it's a good show on paper, good card. Could be better, but what's to come in the future? They're going to build towards that. In the end, it'll probably just be above average show, but better than what we've seen from a few other shows on other nights recently. So, yeah, we'll see what gives. I'm sure as always something will, but as we get back into the swing of things here for live streaming pro wrestling, like I said earlier, it has been a while. I know I look back on it. And of course, that's on me. My bad, my fault. But there are videos from events I've attended, along with the bulk, as it always is during the fall. It's football season. And even with, a few decent shows, with how this is tonight, those get put on the back burner. And, I mean, this is a good way to start fresh, a fresh start. And the first of 3 over the next week and a half for AEW, into the new year. And, we'll roll from there. And hence the black screen once again with some audio only live watch along reactions live here on YouTube. So once again, thanks for tuning in and listening. As it's been for a little while now, I would have hoped to go back to the norm here recently or sometime soon, but doesn't look like it for the time being, especially with myself right now not having COVID, but battling a little bit of a head cold. Just is what it is. So we'll get back to it here in a second, but that's where we stand. So AEW Dynamite New Year's Smash. Tony Schiavone will be speaking to the Lucha Brothers backstage with the Lucha Brothers. Yeah, some miscommunication. And then, of course, Jurassic Express walk up. And, yeah, they're bitching that it cost them the match. They're going to want a tag team title match now. Yep, exactly. Your guys versus my guys for the World Tag Team Championships. Next week, or Battle of the Belts. If Jungle Boy's the future, consider letting go of the past and Christian. Zero, Miedo. They're going to get their tag team championship match. It's a matter of when. It's either going to be next week on Dynamite on TBS or Battle of the Belts next Saturday. Okay, next Wednesday. Now we got Wardlow. This is War. This will be a squash match coming up. As Spears, chair and all, going to come out by his side. Wardlow's got potential. I mean, if they split him from MJF and give MJF the TNT title, you know, Wardlow's going to be right in line for that then. And they actually say Wardlow's on a 16-game or 16-match winning streak, He's the third contender right now. Yeah, there's some dude looking like an 18-year veteran is making his Dynamite debut. Colin Delaney. Why does that name sound familiar? I mean, it looks like a fucking teenage Ninja Turtle, but can anybody stop Wardlow? Well, it sure it's not going to be this dude. This is going to be a less than 3-minute match, if I'd have to guess. Bell rings, match underway. So we'll try to keep time on it, see if we get the over-under right on it. But he's going to go for another power bomb. That's all he does is power bomb people. Like one after another after another. And the crowd, well, it doesn't sound like they're with them, but at the same time, it doesn't sound like, you know, they're against them though right now either. I mean, they're going to hopefully play a card right with him. I mean, because he does, you know, remind me a lot of Batista at, you know, this point in time in his career. You know, young, way before Batista became Batista. You know, and then Wardlow to turn on MJF, sort of like he turned on Triple H. And that wouldn't be odd if, you know, they did it towards their biggest pay-per-view of the year and smashed him through a table and all that bullshit too. 1, 2, 3. After a few power slams when he stands on top of him for the count. I don't even think that match was about a minute. He does look down at his wrist. He's not wearing a watch, but his tape. Yeah. TikTok. Maybe Cross is coming up. And they'll have them go at it. Doubtful, but Wardlow with the win, as expected. And Spears now, yeah, he's going to beat this dude senseless with this steel chair. Yeah. Steel chair shot to the back. Hopefully this dude's getting a nice Christmas gift right now. Spears, who all he's turned into is a damn motivational bodyguard. Hey, I'm here because I'm here. I don't have anything else to do. Like, when, honestly, was the last time Shawn Spears wrestled? And he's not even motivational, so I don't even know why I said that, but he's just there to be there. Brandon, we live? Yes, we are. Let's go, Brandon. You got Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, and the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson backstage cutting a promo. Not in AEW history, but all pro wrestling.
Hey, Matt. Hey, Nick. It's not awkward at all. Hey. Now, if you guys don't mind, I'd like a minute to talk about it. Anything you want to say to Adam, you can stay around us. Hey, Bucks. It's okay.
There's going to be some tension with this. It's going to be, of course, Omega coming back at some point in time following his injury. But now you got, after, as O'Reilly and Cole are going to talk about their heat, their most recent history together. three dangerous individuals. But do you? Yeah. O'Reilly, he doesn't know if Adam Cole's going to have his back or not. Because Cole's in the middle. They cut the camera, cut the feed. Yeah, between a rock and a hard place is right. We got Dan Lambert on Dynamite. Hell yeah. With Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page. What does he have to say tonight? He's getting booed already. This is going to be awesome, though. He's going to say something hilarious. Nothing cool about Cody Rhodes. Okay. It does make us sad, doesn't it? Cody Rhodes is TNT champion again. Sucking up, kissing ass. From a horseman to a whore. And then he brings up Brandy as well, saying that's what she is. Oh my God. From a stripper to, in quotes, a wrestler. Very old, very tired, very quick. So he's making fun of himself because people have been bitching about him lately. Tattoo a Transformers logo to his neck. Oh my. A backstage deal. Skip the line over more deserving talent. Shit sandwich Cody's shoving down our throats. Yeah, we don't like that taste. And here comes Brandy. Who the hell do you think you are? Open mic night, bitch. Ooh, Dan Lambert's a less talented version of Paul Heyman, so says Brandy. So Brandy's now in the ring too with Dan Lambert and company. I actually prefer Jim Cornette. Dan Lambert's awesome. Balls stapled to his leg by Jericho, who just returned. He's back in full gear. When was the last time you got beat up by a woman and didn't have to pay for it? Asked Brandy. I'll do you a solid. What do you got? I'll beat your ass up tonight for free. Listen, Bambi, not Brandy, Bambi. We all know what happened there. He's probably right. Let's go, says Dan Lambert. Black belt to a black bitch. She rips off her heels, and they're going to fight. Dan Lambert and Brandy Rose are going to fight. Here comes Goldust, Dustin Rhodes, to hold her back. And then from behind, Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky attacking Dustin, and Lambert and company going to exit. So they're planting seeds with Rhodes and Lambert and company. American top team. All right, that was pretty good. That was funny. Dan Lambert normally is. He's always got a low blow, if not more than a few, every time he's on the mic. So, whether people like it or not, it's doing his job. He's supposed to be a heel. That's what a bad guy's supposed to do. Up next, though, the TBS Women's Championship Tournament semifinal. Thunder Rosa and Jade Cargill. That'll be up next. Still to come, though, CM Punk. So Punk's going to be a little bit later on. The 9 o'clock hour is going to be the TBS women's match. Then Punk. Then the main event with Best Friends and Cole Fish and O'Reilly. Is there anything else that we're missing? It doesn't look like, because we've already seen the 10-man tag, the 1 trios with 1 still to come. And then, yeah, so really 3 more things that they've advertised, plus a few more fillers. We'll see what those are. I mean, there was one at a backstage thing or two there, too. The surprise from Tony Khan as well. So, unless that was, of course, Jericho returning. Okay, then there's that. But, man, I love me some Dan Lambert. He's hilarious. He's a heel. That's what he's supposed to be, folks. He's supposed to be a bad guy. He's supposed to put people down. He's supposed to say, shit that gets people's blood flowing. So, some people like it, including myself. Some people don't, but grow the hell up. Everybody's so damn soft anymore. I get it's not whatever year you want to insert, and it's 2021 now, but cancel culture once again needs to quit and go the hell away. But almost an hour in now, we've had 2 matches, a backstage segment, along with Chris Jericho return. That might be the bittersweet surprise. We'll see. It probably will be at this point. Let's have something else up their sleeve. And then, with what we just saw there with Dan Lambert and Brandy Rhodes. So, AEW is supposed to be darker and edgier. It's what us pro wrestling fans want, because we haven't had this in years. Everything else is just so, I don't even know what word do you want to use. So bland. Elsewhere, it's like, at least here, we get what we want for the most part, even though we still will complain about it time and time again, but it is what it is. So, that's where we are, but the women's match coming up next, the one and only women's match on the card. I know a lot of people are probably going to be complaining about that, but I mean, they've been doing this TBS tournament for a while now. Yeah, okay, we come back with a video package for Hangman and Danielson for next week. Be the second of potential 3 World Heavyweight Championship matches with these two, and as they faced off in a 1 hour plus match a few weeks back at Winter is Coming, resulted in a draw. Hangman still your champ, and then a few weeks in between, they'll have judges next week, and that'll be, I would think, the main event this time around. Is last time it kicked off the show and it went an hour and everyone talking, and of course ending a draw so they can play this out a little bit, because at some point in time Bryan's probably going to win the title, but you don't want to give Hangman only a month run. I mean, you make it a 2-month run from November to January, people will still complain, but not as much. Especially after an hour match and then, another match and then there's judges. But there's going to be controversy with the judges, so you can already pencil in a third match with Hangman and Bryan Danielson. Probably, if they want to push it the whole way to early March for Revolution, okay. Omega at some point in time is going to be coming back too. We'll have the move to TBS after New Year's Smash here tonight, next week, Battle of the Belts, and then Beach Break's going to be early February, I would think, and then it's Revolution. So they have, their 4 pay-per-views, but they have at least one, if not more, TV specials once a month and a half. Hell, sometimes a few weeks in a row. Like Winter's Coming Holiday Bash, New Year's Smash. Like, of course, it's just the naming, but so here comes Jade Cargill with, Mark Sterling, who was backstage earlier, too, with MJF reading off that contract to Wardlow. And it'll be Thunder Rosa and Jade Cargill coming up next. Winner to be in the championship match next week for the title. So, show some highlights from the past few weeks. Dark Elevation, Rampage. Dynamite's the number 1 show, though. Then it's Rampage, and then it's, of course, they're pay-per-views, but you still got Dark and Dark Elevation. They're high on Jade Cargill. She's, for the most part, been unstoppable, but Thunder Rosa's a fan favorite, coming out as Wolverine. And my money's on her. Excuse me. My money is on Thunder Rosa to win. She should be the first ever TBS Women's Champion, but at the same time, she probably won't be. Because if she loses, they're going to go back probably to what they did early last year with her and Britt. With, Britt is your AEW Women's Champion now, and, she'll retain at Battle of the Belts, and she'll need another new contender after the fact. And after, of course, the Blood and Guts Lights Out match they had, of course, as the bell rings here tonight, Thunder Rosa, Jade Cargill underway in this final semi. Winner in the championship match next week to close out the tournament. They'll have it for a title then at that point. But so I wouldn't be shocked, even though I'm wanting Thunder Rosa to win this, Jade Cargill does find a way to win. Sterling gets taken out ringside early, so looks like he'll be down and out for the time being, rolling underneath the ring, but we're underway. We are underway on Dynamite, this 9 o'clock hour, with Thunder Rosa and Jade Cargill. Two count from the official. Surprised it's not a little bit longer than it is. Jade catches her in midair and then slams her down on one knee. And Jade, as I've said before, she's more of a, I'm going to say ripped, but I wouldn't even necessarily say more athletic, but I compare her to Bianca Belair a lot. That's what she is. Like, she's in between. She's a mix. Jade Cargill is a mix of Bianca Belair and Sonny Kiss. That's what Jade Cargill is. Thunder Rosa, as they're working ringside, working that barricade. Some kicks to the back of the knee. And this match, for the most part, been ringside the whole entire time. Roll into the ring, roll out of the ring. Start the count over, why don't you? That's the second or third time that's happened already. So, this match is officially underway. The bell has rung. They're just fighting ringside this whole entire time. Giving us a little bit different look in this women's matchup for this semifinal in the TBS Women's Championship Tournament. Because how in this first hour we've already had, two large tag team matches with a 10-man and then a 6-man trios, and so why not wrestle ringside for a while, and then now as they're back in the ring, get back into it, and unless they go home here soon, they'll give them some time. I mean, the first two matches went a good 12-15 minutes, if I'm not mistaken, and with only a few matches advertised, and then a few fillers that they've already filled in, will continue to do so throughout the night. They'll get through the show over these 2 hours of time with one down and one to go. Maybe a little of a botch off the jump from the middle rope. A little slip from Thunder Rosa, but reverses, and then Jade reverses into a big boot, and then they'll take another split screen commercial here. So we'll get back to the action momentarily. But as mentioned earlier, as college football bowl season rolls on, we got Clemson and Iowa State, a minute and a half to play. Cyclones down 7. Big third down coming up, needing a touchdown to tie to force overtime. With one more game to kick off still tonight. Be sure to check out my preview once again as well. But in the meantime, on Dynamite, split screen commercials. So back to just not tuning in here in a second. Of course, bowl games, a few more, unfortunately, have been either postponed or canceled. The teams that were supposed to play, this team in this game, but then they're now playing somebody else with logistics of it being switched around. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. What can you do? Just hopefully, knock on wood, no more do get officially canned. But this game coming down to the wire, and we'll see who comes out on top here. They do convert on third down there, so they got new set downs. This game, coin flip, go either way. Incomplete.
That cough looks pretty bad. Try this Robitussin thing. The real honey you love, plus the powerful cough relief you need. Mind if I root for your trash? Now get powerful relief with Robitussin elderberry. Welcome to
like an embodiment of splash.
CBS original like that. All new episodes January 11th.
Cutting your burrito? You're such a Virgo. And you have serious Libra vibes. You got 2 different burritos because you couldn't decide. It is not
After the incompletion, under a minute to play now, another incompletion. So if Clemson holds on to win, they lead by 7, 20-13 here. Under a minute to play in this Cheez-It Bowl. Doritos are better. They'll have their 11th consecutive 10-plus win season, which that's pretty damn good. That's consistency right there, folks. Whether it's, college football playoff or not, I mean, it's really that or bust anymore. But there's still a lot of good bowl games out there, and, people complain about this, that, or the other anymore anyway. Got to bitch about something, I guess. To finish the season on a high compared to where you've been, to still have a good year, I mean, yeah. So here's your play of the game. 4th down coming up for Iowa State. They don't convert. Clemson's going to win it. In the meantime, back to it on Dynamite. And it is, in fact, Thunder Rosa and Jade Cargill on AEW Dynamite New Year's Smash in this semifinal for the AEW TBS Women's Championship. That'll be awarded to the winner of that tourney next Wednesday. Yep. Face formerly known Ruby Riott, Ruby Soho, who is so, fill it in for me, yeah. No, she's not. She's not what Dan Lambert called Brandy Rhodes earlier either, by any means, but I'll digress. Ruby might end up winning the damn thing, to be honest with you. And, okay, a lot of people are going to be complaining then, too, because she's a former another WWE talent, but what can you do? If it works out and it makes sense and she's the best of the best, then live with it. So here's your ball game. If Iowa State doesn't convert, Clemson's going to win. 4th down. Pump fake. He steps up, tucks it and runs, gets first down. Fumble on the play, though. However, they recover. Got the first down, but then he recovered it back behind the line of scrimmage. So that's going to be interesting to see if they give him the first down or not. They say no. Turnover on downs. And Clemson's going to win it. So if he doesn't fumble, they have another 30 seconds and at least have another chance. But turnovers, man, I tell you what, they kill you. Can't be carrying the ball like a loaf of bread there. And if it would have been, recovered for first down, they still have, but recovered back behind the line of scrimmage on a turnover. So no forward progress. And Clemson will win. And then we have the Alamo Bowl coming up here shortly, in about 5 minutes or so, with Oklahoma and Oregon. And the game in which neither head coach wants to be a part of their former team now anymore, having moved on to SC in South Beach. But Mark Sterling with a bottle of water. Jade Cargill gets a drink. What is this, a boxing match? Dabo going to get a Cheez-It bath. Cheez-It bowl. Seconds are going to tick away. And we'll have a final score. Who the hell was that? Somebody just came in and took out Thunder Rosa. So somebody has joined the team with Jade Cargill. It looked like Mia Yim is Reckoning is who it looked like, with a black hoodie and a face mask. So, yeah, who was that? Maybe that's the bittersweet surprise. So Jade Cargill defeats Thunder Rosa. It's either going to be Ruby Soho or Jade Cargill as your first ever AEW TBS Women's Champion next week. So, give me Ruby. To show some highlights. They've been high on Jade, though. Like I said, she's, for the most part, been unstoppable, it seems like. But yeah, after a distraction, and now Thunder back in to take her down after the match, even though she's lost. Here, AEW sweatshirt and all, beating up on Thunder Rosa again. Who the hell is this? Maybe it's Toni Storm. She was just released by the WWE earlier today. Oh, it's Mercedes Martinez. All right. That's a good hire. That's a good signing. It's interesting they put her with Jade Cargill, but Mercedes Martinez is now all in with AEW. Mercedes Martinez, who he also dropped the ball. She was also supposed to be a part of Retribution, but said no, and then, eventually didn't have anything for her. And now here comes Ruby. She's got a Ruby Soho. Bat in hand, gets Jade on the run. So it'll be Ruby Soho and Jade Cargill next week for the AEW TBS Women's Championship. But Mercedes Martinez debuts in AEW. Chris Jericho returned earlier tonight too, so third time's a charm. Who's next? Still got another 45 minutes or so here tonight. Along with that bittersweet surprise, unless one of those two counts as that. The finals of the TBS Women's Championship Tournament will, in fact, be Ruby Soho and Jade Cargill next week on Dynamite. Good match. And then they'll have two women's championship titles to keep people in the flow, keep them in the mix. Now we got a recap from last month on Dark Elevation. Okay. This seems out of place for some reason. And then, okay, we got now a flashback to Rampage from last week too. They say last Friday when it wasn't on Friday. It's on Christmas night, which was Saturday night. So that graphic's wrong, but okay. Dabo Sweeney, Matt Campbell, post-game handshake, post-game interview now as well with celebration. But Clemson beats Iowa State in the Cheez-It Bowl 2013. CM Punk appears in Daly's place once again for the first time ever. CM Punk appearance on Dynamite coming up next. And then the main event still to come with Orange Cassidy and Best Friends with Cole, Fish, and O'Reilly as well. Commercial break. We'll get back to it here in a second. Yeah, and Cody's got the Go Big Show coming back too. Just won the TNT title. It seems like MJF's going to come for him, but MJF's tied up right now with Punk. And like I said earlier, we're seeing Punk coming up now next. He'll come out and interrupt one way or another. I don't know how, but yeah, so there's that.
Bounty picks up messes quicker, and each sheet is 2 times more absorbent, so you can use less. Who's an ape?
He's a lion.
Bounty, the quicker picker.
We come together, we can help every mom and baby be healthy and strong. Our story should not remain unspoken. You are not alone.
Too exclusive. We were created for officers. But as we've evolved with the military, we've grown to serve all of we serve. No matter their rank or when they were in. Corey, just out of boot camp, a petty officer from 73. And even his kids and their kids. USA
a handshake for all who honestly serve and their eligible family members. Are we still exclusive? Absolutely. And that's exactly why you should join.
This brings a commitment. After we got married, I got very sick. You have done everything to help me up in there. And now I'm back. This is a reminder that love endures.
One, by being a tornado, inspired by extraordinary love stories. Jerry loved Lily.
Back to it on Dynamite. You got a recap with Britt Baker losing to her contender, who she'll face at Battle of the Belts for the AEW Women's World Heavyweight Championship in Rio. And then I'll say, look in my eyes, what do you see? And CM Punk's going to come out. But Saturday, January the 8th on TNT, Britt Baker and Rio for the world title. It should be a good match. It'll be interesting to see what else they add for Battle of the Belts, too. Especially with 2 championship matches next Wednesday on Dynamite. 3 matches, actually, now make it. But got a good week and a half coming up, and it starts off right now. Continues with CM Punk. There's a dude out there with a Penn State sweatshirt. Maybe he's down in the Sunshine State for Saturday at noon for the Outback Bowl. I'll have live watch long reactions with the Nittany Lions and Hogs of Arkansas as well, so be sure to tune back in. So yes, look in my eyes, what do you see? Yes, it's as always a call to personality. He's unbeaten, hasn't lost yet since made his debut back in August. He's got a new haircut as well. It is clobbering time. He's coming out in street clothes, but CM Punk making an appearance on Dynamite here tonight on New Year's Smash. Once again, thanks for tuning in and listening. He'll cut a promo, I would think. MJF going to come out and interrupt one way or another, but CM Punk. Phil Brooks on AEW. They cut the music. CM Punk chants now from the crowd. First time ever in Jacksonville at Daly's Place for him with AEW. Where's Jim Ross at? There's the announce team. Jim Ross is back.
And I immediately get to thinking how awesome it is to see you back here sitting at that booth.
Yep.
You're the best to ever do it.
You're the best to ever do it.
Glad you're back to work.
Punk says he's glad. He's back. So, Punk and MJF, whenever they do fight, it'll be a slobber knocker.
It's when they deserve it now, because I give Jim his flowers and then I get to thinking about this place. And I've never been here, but this has been a home for AEW.
It has been the home to AEW because of COVID, but now they're back on the road. First time in Jacksonville, though, since August. Hell, Rampage wasn't even up and running yet, which that's hard to believe. It brings up Brody Lee. It's been 1 year since the Memorial Show.
Who says anything to try to minimize the impact that man had, it just makes me feel sorry for them.
Yep.
Because it means they never met him.
Exactly. Punk watched the tribute show, and that's what ended up being one of the reasons why he decided to come back and sign with AEW.
So then I get to thinking about maybe somebody who's not worth my time. Maybe somebody who doesn't want to be here.
Somebody who doesn't want to be there.
And speaking of internet trolls, yeah, I'm talking about MJF.
Internet trolls MJF.
He's a Twitter troll.
A Twitter troll. In the flesh.
Who talks a big game. But when it comes to
Big game, but
say that stuff to your face,
yeah, he's nowhere to be found then.
behind a keyboard or Dax and Cash.
I've been FTR, Wardlow,
You saw it with your own eyes last week.
anybody and everybody he can.
Smart enough to say
He's right.
that the people want to see CM Punk get his hands on MJF.
Crowd cheers that.
But it's also stupid enough to say something that he's as good as Roddy Piper in Portland. But Roddy Piper
Punk's as good as Piper.
wrestling boots.
I don't know about that much, but okay.
MJF laced up his running shoes, didn't he? Not sure if you guys heard, but MJF says he's done with me.
MJF says he's done with Punk. He's going to go after Cody the TNT title. Looks like that's not going to happen anytime soon.
I got the team with the legend Sting. I got the team with Darby.
Yeah, Punk last week, Sting and Darby. That was a good main event match. Of course, you had the face paint and all too.
So, hey, I understand if MJF is afraid, if MJF is scared, if he don't want none,
If MJF don't want none, if he's afraid and scared,
looking towards bigger and better things.
Punk's looking towards bigger and better things. What could that be?
He's talking about the gold.
The gold.
About becoming
He's going to say, no, it's something else.
Jim Ross will attest to this.
Jim Ross will test whatever he's about to say.
If you don't want to be the champion, you probably shouldn't be here.
Yeah, if you don't want to be the champion, you probably shouldn't be here. That's, yeah. But you always don't need a championship to be good. You don't. You can still fit in and
Beginnings and there's endings.
do your job.
Being here, CM Punk, first time in Bailey's place, a place that has been so new to AEW. The last Dynamite on TNT, we're moving to TBS.
Yep.
There's bigger and there's brighter things.
Bigger and brighter things on the horizon for CM Punk. What are they, though?
Time, and you are an even bigger waste of con money than Tim Tebow.
MJF's a bigger waste of time and a bigger waste of con money than Tim Tebow. And, of course, Urban Meyer has a ploy to sign him back in the preseason. And then, of course, as Punk takes a bow, Urban fired a few weeks back.
I never wanted to mess with MJF, but he found out the hard way.
MJF finding out the hard way. Punk didn't want to mess with him, but
Even at commentary, nobody can touch me.
nobody can touch CM Punk. He goes back to the basics for himself.
Get some W's to get to AEW Global, I imagine. Sooner or later, I'll see him again in this ring.
Sooner or later, he'll see
It'd
MJF.
be a real shame if somebody interfered with his quest for gold.
And it'd be a shame if somebody interfered with his quest for gold. So Punk's going to be coming from behind, and MJF better be on the lookout. Because, as mentioned earlier, now your TNT title picture is going to be Cody Rhodes. Sammy Guevara still there for the time being, but MJF coming for it. Wardlow, if they split them two up, but then it's Punk. So from now until whenever the dust settles, that's going to be fun to watch. So they hit his music. He cuts a promo. Nobody interrupts. And now we go backstage to Starks and Hobbs, with Cage still nowhere to be found, and Hook's the best one of them all, and he hasn't done a whole hell of a lot, but I would think at some point in time Team Taz is going to break up, Taz is gonna, go with his son, and Hook's gonna be FTW champion, and they'll, like I said earlier, push him to the moon. Because the FTW championship, since they brought it in a year and a half ago, Cage held it for how long? And then it's been Starks ever since. Like, not talk about dropping the ball. I mean, come on, man. And Hobbs really hasn't done a lot lately either, but he has a bright future if they play their cards right. They say last Friday for Rampage when they know damn well it was on fucking Saturday. Rampage is normally on Fridays, so they probably still want to change the graphic, but still, it's like, come on now. They show a highlight of the TNT title match from last week on Rampage. Cody winning the title. So here comes Sammy Guevara on Dynamite. And he's got his cue card, so we're going to go to commercial break, it seems like. Yeah, Dynamite's going to continue. He's got cue cards. He's going to take us to break. So they get him on the card like this, but... Okay, well, split screen. Can you at least show us the signs, what they say? Bobby Fish, Ethan Page. This is going to be a Christmas rhyme. Bobby Fish, Ethan Page, Jay Lethal, Tony Nese. 5 matches as a champ. 4 successful defenses. 3-month title reign. So what are 2 and 1? 2 cross. Oh, 2 crossroads later. Okay, looks like phones. I lost my championship. Where's your partridge in the pear tree? That's one memory I won't forget. With New Year's upon us. I wonder if he comes up with these by himself or he has somebody write them. I have my resolution. What is Sammy Guevara's resolution? Beat the American Nightmare. So Sammy's still going to be in the mix for the TNT title. Win back my title. And once again, he's taking his good old time with this. Be the TNT champion. So now they take the full screen commercial during the split screen. He'll exit, and then we'll get back to it. It's going to be main event time, it seems like. We got a half hour to go. We'll have a 6-man tag, a trios match with the best friends of Orange Cassidy, Chucky T, Chuck Taylor, and Trent Beretta, taking on the former Undisputed Era. And Adam Cole, baby, and Red Dragon, Bobby Fish, and Kyle O'Reilly. As AEW will end this year with a smash and shock the system into 2022. And unless we've had a bittersweet surprise already with a return and a debut, we still could potentially have that still to come as well. We're getting another video package. Got a few of those, backstage stuff, like I said. You always got to expect a few of those, just a matter of fact, where they place it at in the show. But about a half hour to go here. Should be a good finish to the night and the year for AEW, to say the least.
And translate. Brandon, I'll reach you down again.
So, are they going to give us a highlight of what's to come next week on Dynamite? Actually, Brian Pillman Jr. is in the ring with Tony Schiavone. So somebody's going to come out. Of course, yeah, it's been the former NXT staple, as it seems like, you know, you had Malachi, you had Andrade, you had Rhodes there at a point in time or two. Of course, since Full Gear, that's sort of dwindled down, but
But the one thing I never get out of my head is the sound of that bell ringing over and over and over again while Malachi tried to end Griff's career.
Griff, who the fuck's Griff Garrison? Brian Pillman cutting a promo now in the middle of the ring on Dynamite.
That's where things get a little fuzzy, and that's where my memory goes completely black.
His memory goes completely black. It fades to black.
I'm laying on the ground right next to the very person that I was trying to protect.
Pillman's got a bright future. I mean, he's got a lot to live up to, though. But he tells Malachi, congrats. Won't be the first, sure, so won't be the last. He has. If they figure out something bigger and better for him, it might work. You know, him as a fucking high schooler. No, that doesn't work. But you got to do something to get your foot in the door. He's calling out Malachi Black. Pillman going to take a trip to the House of Black. He's going to come in the back door. Next week, we're going to see a whole new Brian Pillman Jr. as the lights go out. So maybe a rebrand for him. Malachi Black at the top of the ramp. Of course, he debuted shortly after his release by the WWE. A month later, wrestled Cody in Jacksonville at Daly's Place. Sort of as he points him down, let's go out again, and he's gonna walk off, nowhere to be found. He's sort of just been floating. He's been working a lot of talent, but you know, nothing major. So Brian Pillman Jr. chance. Okay, we're gonna get a TNT Championship match with Cody Rhodes and Ethan Page on the AEW Rampage New Year's Smash show on New Year's Eve, this upcoming Friday. Of course, this will be taped right after Dynamite ends. So those spoilers will be out. They also advertised Darby Allin taking on Anthony Bowens. So Max Caster will have something to say, and he's not a damn good heel, but sometimes he's had to watch his mouth.
Listen up. Ain't it funny how in AEW, to be in the main event, you gotta wrestle the main event tag team, but the main event tag team ain't even Reigns and Sting and Darby Allin.
Yeah. The Acclaimed.
Yeah, baby.
They're rubbing oil on each other.
Friday night on Rampage, you step in the ring with me so I can beat your My Chemical Romance
So,
looking ass.
I just called Darby Allin a My Chemical Romance. That's good. And then a mic drop, but why aren't they doing these vignettes before they advertise the match? They just announced the match and now they're, doing this. Like they have that ass backwards. Darby Allin is a emo-looking My Chemical Romance type of guy. How that they bring that up. That's good. Okay, so they show the graphic again for AEW Rampage. New Year's Smash for Darby Allin and Anthony Bowens. What else we got? Technique by Taz. We'll have Hook. Also a street fight with Penelope Ford and the Bunny taking on Tay Conti and Anna Jay. And now a video package for that. So everyone that, when you know you do, sit down and unzip. You can do that again Friday night. Of course, there's some rumors out there right now that Tay is dating Sammy. But who the hell knows? Anna Jay's was the Jungle Boy. So, and Penelope was with Kip. But we'll have a street fight on AEW Rampage New Year's Smash Friday. Next week on Dynamite, we got the second of potential 3, if not more, matches for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship with Hangman Adam Page and Bryan Danielson. Also the TBS Championship Women's Tournament with Ruby Soho and Jade Cargill. Also Malachi Black and Brian Pillman Jr. next week on Dynamite with the move to TBS as well. What else we got? World Tag Team Championship match that they announced earlier with the Lucha Brothers and Jurassic Express. But up next on Dynamite New Year's Smash, as it's time for the main event. It'll be Best Friends taking on Cole, Fish, and O'Reilly. They'll take a commercial break and we'll get back to it. So they'll give them about a 15-minute or so match, I'd say, after entrances. But we'll see how this goes. Hell, we might have a surprise at the end of the show. At this point, who honestly knows? You know, it's been a pretty good night, good show. Not just a slow start, but over the past hour and a half or so, it's picked up some steam. So, you know, that's where we are right now. But as always, thank you once again for tuning in and listening. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. Thumbs up button. Share hashtag AEW, hashtag AEW Dynamite. Chat questions and comments, super chat, super stickers, always get appreciated as well. And it's time for the main event. So, main event coming up next. It'll be a 6-man tag, a trios match, 3-on-3. Best Friends with Orange Cassidy, Chuck Taylor, and Trent Beretta. They'll take on Adam Cole, Bebe, Bobby Fish, and Kyle O'Reilly. Most recently, of course, over the course of the past 4.5 years or so now, being in NXT together. And then Cole does not re-sign. Shows up at All Out. Less than a month later, Bobby Fish released. He shows up in AEW as well. And then O'Reilly, he wrestled on NXT and NXT 2.0. But he did not re-sign. He left. Gargano, as far as I know, is done for the time being. Who knows what his future holds. Whether he's re-signed or also going to leave. But O'Reilly showed up and debuted on AEW last week. And now they're all back together. And, yeah, there's some tension in between because of the Elite, the Super Clique. Of course, you have Omega and the Bucks. You have Cole and Fish and O'Reilly now, and with Omega injured, Cole's in the middle between the two tag teams, and whatever they do, they're going to let it play out for a while. They're going to keep us on the edge of our seat. But They show the highlight for AEW going to TBS next week. In the meantime, what the hell is this? Oh, they're giving, all right, Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly a Red Dragon intro as a tag team, and they're going to call them Red Dragon, and as we know, it's all about the boom. Here comes Adam Cole, baby, as they shock the system this Wednesday night on New Year's Smash. TV time remaining for this main event. Adam Cole, baby, Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly taking on the Best Friends in this main event, as Cole's the number 2 overall contender as well, undefeated since debuting. So he's going to be in line for a title shot, you would think, at some point down the line. And they're getting back to what they had said from the start, that they're going to go off this ranking system. They sort of went away from it at first, but now they're back on the road, and they're AEW's top notch compared to a few other shows. So they're doing their entrance. Boom. This is cool to see. Man, I tell you what. Adam Cole, baby. So, yeah, they're going to call and have Fish and O'Reilly as a tag team, as Red Dragon, as they were before they signed with the WWE. So they get their own entrance, and then Cole comes out. It's not just as one group, even though they're teaming up tonight, taking on the Best Friends. Young Bucks are probably going to come out, interfere, I would think. It's either going to help or hurt Cole, Fish, and O'Reilly. It might help them out and result in a win, but it also might cost them and they might lose. So we'll see here, but we got about 15 minutes or so left with Dynamite here tonight. So main event, TV time remaining match, and Kyle O'Reilly going to start things off against Chucky T. Headlock off the ropes. A shoulder tackle. Undisputed chants from the crowd. That's dead. That has to be a little hard for them to, at the same time, not though, too. You know, to get that out of their head. Or try to just block it out. Trent Beretta tags in. Taking on Kyle O'Reilly. Nice big chop to the chest. Got a packed house in Jacksonville for AEW Dynamite New Year's Smash. And once again, thanks for tuning in and listening. O'Reilly misses with a kick, another chop to the chest, and then they double kick again, and they both drop. Off the ropes. O'Reilly going to tag in Bobby Fish. Here comes Bobby Fish. These three are the original Undisputed Era. Fuck Roderick Strong. He was only added because Fish got hurt. Here comes Orange Cassidy. With some kicks. And then a quick roll up on Bobby Fish, who should be in a tag team with Hook, but of course you know that won't happen. Not at least anytime soon. Not with what they got going now. Advertising a few upcoming events. I'll be attending a few as well, so be sure to keep an eye on some more videos. Kyle O'Reilly, so he looks to get the ref's attention, which he does. Orange Cassidy puts his hands in his pockets. Fish takes control, and now here comes another tag. Cole tags in. And Cole gonna throw Orange Cassidy into the corner, but a quick rollout, and then another tag made. Here comes Trent tagging in. I wonder if Bobby Fish thinks they're in Cincinnati tonight. And now best friends with big clotheslines, nice big shoulder tackle there. And then a double elbow drop. All hell's breaking loose now. They're all going at it. Now they're going to give us some info on Red Dragon. Of course, they won the IWGP World Tag Team titles in New Japan Pro Wrestling, making their names as a tag team together. And then also, of course, in Ring of Honor, which we'll see what happens with them if they're going to come back or not in the springtime. But, the AEW did get G Lethal for the time being, but, since Full Gear, he really hasn't done a lot, but he's been tied up with closing the Ring of Honor chapter, and, you don't want to rush it. So, Cole celebrating, standing alone in the middle of the ring by himself. We'll take a split screen commercial, the final of the evening. And this main event match will, in fact, continue with Cole, Fish, and O'Reilly taking on best friends, Orange Cassidy, Chuck Taylor, and Trent Beretta once again. So, Cole and Red Dragon in control here. Just as WWE likes to change, at least AEW, they stick to what people know and, stick to the roots and basics and, keep it original. It's called freedom. Sort of, you want to compare freedom. What AEW is to WWE is the US to the UK in 1776. Except there's, no Declaration of Independence. But what I'm interested in seeing right now in this main event match is the finish. Because there's going to be something to, close the show and close the year to get people talking. Even though we've already had a Chris Jericho return and Mercedes Martinez debut tonight. Things happen in threes. So they have to have something else up their sleeve. I don't know what it would be, but only time under 10 to go here will tell. We'll see what gives, but ref distracted, and Cole and Red Dragon, they're taking control. Tag made. Cole going to tag in. Adam Cole and Chuck Taylor. Where's Sue at? Where's Sue in her van? Ragu pulling a fast one on us. Cook like a mother. Fill it in with another few letters after it. But, no. It's been a good night for AEW, it has. It's been a damn good year, too. From starting the year off where you had to finish last year as well. In Jacksonville because of COVID, and then you get back on the road and you continue all these stories and you put on banger after banger, and now you're going to switch networks. TNT is going to stick with this match as long as it takes, so we're going to get an overrun tonight. So we're not going to go to 10 o'clock. We're going to go past 10 o'clock now, it seems like. Shivani giving us some breaking news that, in quotes, of course, has been playing TNT saying that they're going to stick with it as long as you need. We're going to stay on and give you an overrun. And screw the Star Wars movie that's on after this. Suicide Squad was on earlier. Star Wars afterwards. They got something big planned. Why would they have an overrun? You know? Nice big suplex there. Nice big reversal by Trent. Yeah, TNT's going to stick with Dynamite for as long as they need. What if this match runs in the next week? We still going to go to TBS then at that point or not? That'd be something. They had Dynamite still running like from 7:30 to 8 next week on TNT. And hey, you got to switch over to TBS right now. And then that's how it ends. Or even tonight, hey, switch over to TBS right now at 10 o'clock. But no, they're going to, with TNT here, stick with it, give them an overrun. O'Reilly going to tag in Bobby Fish. And then Fish with a nice big spear into the corner. Red Dragon back working as a team. They had a pretty cool Tron as well with their entrance. This little literal red flaming dragon. Cover 1, 2, and a kick out. This is awesome chants from the crowd. Double tag, Orange Cassidy off the top rope, nice big clothesline to Kyle O'Reilly, suicide dive into the wall, taking on Bobby Fish, but then Cole in the middle of the ring. But then Cassidy reverses it into a stunner of some sorts. And then O'Reilly pushes Cole out of the way, going to take one for the team. And then a DDT, no. Here's reversal for Red Dragon. Into their DDT, suplex. I can't remember what they call that. Cover 1, 2, and a kick out. They're damn good at what they do. They call Red Dragon Assassins on AEW Dynamite. Another tag made. It's back and forth. Another tag to Adam Cole. One at a time, says Hazmat Suit. Super kick. And off the ropes goes Bobby Fish. I can't remember what they call that in NXT, but they hit their finish. Cover 1, 2, and a kick out. Chuck Taylor breaks it up. And from behind, here comes Trent. We're going to get an overrun with Dynamite. We got 5 minutes still left here, but they had said they're going to stick with it as long as this match continues. As long as they need. How about another half hour, an hour? They'll go till probably 5, 10 after. Be done at 10 after, I bet. They're going to work ringside, actually work up the ramp, up the steps towards the entrance. Just the single entrance in the corner with that different setup they have at Daly's place with some fans in between the announce table and the entrance there right in front of the screen. Cole is going to go for one of his surprise finishes there, but reversed by Chuck, and then he takes out both Red Dragon, Fish, and O'Reilly ringside. Spear on the ramp by Trent to Cole. And Orange Cassidy now off the top rope with a nice big DDT on Adam Cole. Cover 1, 2, and a kick out at 2.5 by AC. Here comes the White Bronco finish, and nice big pile driver, make it a double, right on the head of Adam Cole. Orange Cassidy. Yeah, cover. 1, 2, and then Fish and O'Reilly to break it up. Match continues. Something's going to happen here with this finish. I don't know what. AEW chants now from the crowd. Yeah, Dynamite's going to TBS, but Rampage staying on TNT. Which, that's going to be confusing to some people at first. But that's just, the way it's going to be. They probably should be having both on the same network as it is, but because of programming, really because of hockey and basketball, that's why Dynamite's going to TBS rather than staying on TNT. But Rampage is going to stay on TNT Friday nights at 10, as mentioned earlier. O'Reilly accidentally kicks Cole with Orange Cassidy moving out of the way. Quick roll-up, kick out at 2. And then into the corner, nice big punch and a tag. Knee to the face. Trent Beretta, nice big clothesline. Bobby Fish from behind. Going to get reversed into a suplex. And they give each other a hug, zoom out, zoom in. Now we've got somebody walking out. It's Brandon Cutler. Brandon Cutler running around the ring. Now into the ring. He's going to get knocked out cold in his bottle of spray. Here come the Young Bucks. Young Bucks with a double super kick to the best friends of Trent Beretta and Chuck Taylor. And then Fish and O'Reilly with a suplex, vertical suplex cover. 1, 2, 3. And Cole, Fish and O'Reilly, Adam Cole, baby, and Red Dragon pick up the win with some help from Brandon Cutler and Nick Jackson, the Young Bucks, here tonight on AEW Dynamite to close out the show. Doesn't look like now we're going to be getting overrun. They end, a minute here to go. Even though they said they'd stick on TNT as long as they would need to stay until this match would end. So, see some highlights now of this matchup. But, yeah, they're going to play this out with, Omega still injured. And then Cole in the middle between the Young Bucks and Red Dragon. And, eventually at some point in time, yeah, they'll split. Somebody will turn on one another. But actually Cole celebrating with the Young Bucks. Is somebody going to come out and team up with Red Dragon now? They preview AEW Rampage New Year's Smash on Friday, as we mentioned earlier. But they will help until they collide, and then they split. They're going to keep this running for quite a while. Just a matter of how long. But for the final time on TNT, and in the year 2021 here, AEW Dynamite going to come to an end. Closing credits. All rights reserved. They'll move to TBS next week. Cole, Fish, and O'Reilly pick up the win, and they fade to black. And that does it for AEW Dynamite. No big surprise by any means at the end, other than, as thought, the Young Bucks coming out. But we did earlier see Chris Jericho return, along with Mercedes Martinez debut. Wardlow won a squash match. We had earlier in the night, MJF promo backstage. CM Punk cut a promo in the ring earlier in the night too. But we had a 10-man tag that was won by FTR, Private Party, and Matt Hardy over the Lucha Brothers, Jurassic Express, and Christian Cage. And now next week on Dynamite on TBS, we'll have just a few days prior to Battle of the Belts. I don't know why they're not saving it all for that TV special a week from Saturday. we'll have 3 championship matches a week from now. It'll be as we had a semifinal in the AW TBS Women's Championship Tournament as well earlier. Jade Cargill defeating Thunder Rosa. It'll be Ruby Soho and Jade Cargill next week for the AW TBS Women's Championship now, along with a AW World Tag Team Championship match with Lucha Brothers and Jurassic Express. And then the second of who knows how many matches to come with Hangman Adam Page and Bryan Danielson for the AW World Heavyweight Championship. So yeah, pretty good show. But 10-man tag kick off the night, and then a trios main event as well. Jericho returned after that. Just in general, in full, in the end, I mean, they did deliver. I mean, it wasn't necessarily a slow start, but it did pick up some pace there. Half hour, 45 minutes or so in. And then, from then until now, a fast finish, and of course, wish we'd still be on for who knows how much longer, but they end with a Adam Cole Red Dragon win over Best Friends here tonight on AEW Dynamite to close out the year and the Dynamite and Rampage era. Well, Rampage still going to be on Friday night on New Year's Eve, but TNT's no more for AEW Dynamite. They'll go to TBS next week. Rampage still going to be on TNT Friday nights at 10, but because of scheduling, that's why the move's being made. But they're on the road following New Year's SmackDown tonight to, well, Rampage New Year's Smash is going to start that taping about probably 10 minutes or so. And then, because I've been to 2 Dynamite Rampage shows over the past few months. The first one was the first ever Rampage, and it was live, right at 10 o'clock Friday night. The second one, it was taped, and they started about 10:15 and went for about almost an hour, because then, of course, with TV, they filled in what they filled in along with commercial breaks on when it was actually aired that Friday night. But that's what's to come. But then next week, they got Dynamite going to TBS full time. They'll have Rampage still on TNT, but then a week from Saturday, Battle of the Belts. Have live watch-along reactions of both those shows next week, so be sure to tune back in. And then it's really Beach Break, Revolution, a few other shows in between, and then Double or Nothing. So we'll see what the future holds for AEW, but as always, hopefully we'll be along for the ride. And once again, thanks for tuning in and listening here this evening. And just be sure to like, follow, and subscribe as always on social media. Links in the description below. And hope to see everybody next year in 2022 for more content live right here on YouTube. So that'll do it for myself, your host, Encyclopedia Sports, Coy and Luke 96, live right here on YouTube tonight and for this calendar year 2021. So Happy New Year to everyone out there. I'll see everybody in next year, 2022. That'll be Friday night and a Saturday. But on Saturday, I'll have live watch-along reactions on New Year's Day. Doubleheader earlier with College Football, the Outback Bowl, Penn State, Arkansas, and later on the night with WWE Day 1. So be sure to tune back in. Also a NFL doubleheader on Sunday, along with Monday Night Football, Monday Night Raw next week, AEW next Wednesday, and Week 18 NFL the following weekend with a doubleheader that Saturday, AEW Battle of the Belts TV special, and then with College Football Playoff Semi on Friday with a National Championship game that following Monday. So a lot to come live right here on YouTube. And just be sure to subscribe. Hit that red subscribe button, little notification bell next to it. As well as the easiest way to stay up to date is, in fact, on social media. So, yeah, good show by AEW tonight, I thought. Of course, as always, could have been a little bit better, but they got a big show next week, of course, with the fresh start on TBS. So they'll be all right. They'll be fine. We can all relax and enjoy the holidays here. Hopefully everyone had a Merry Christmas and will also, in fact, have a happy New Year. But yeah, that'll do it. Once again, thanks for tuning in and listening. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. Thanks for tuning in here tonight and all year long. More to come next year. Happy New Year. I'll see everybody in 2022.